Chubstep.
Creating the oil of Goldman.
Steve.
Chub. Step.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
He's a good man, your sheriff. And he's gonna keep on sheriffing. Same as you all are gonna keep doing whatever it is you do. Barbers cut hair, cooks cook, librarians keep checking out books because it's very important to read.
What happens when Bible camp opens?
Bible camp's canceled, and I'm not really doing questions and answers right now, dear.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Welcome to the spooky sode. Ooh. Ooh.
Spooky. Actually, well, we're recording this on Halloween, but the day will come out a few days after the spooky sode.
People are still going to be in the mood.
Okay. I was a little upset. I drove past, there's a place called Swift and Sons, which is right next to Wrigley Field. Drove past that, and they were putting up Christmas decorations.
Oh,
and I'm like, you can't wait like one day at least till Halloween's over.
You got to wait until post Thanksgiving.
I think you have to wait till post Thanksgiving. But even if they were like, all right, let's do it. We'll have it up while Thanksgiving's going on.
Yeah.
Like, wait
no,
until
that's
like
crazy.
one more day. I
mean, it was probably cheaper to get the Christmas decorators out if they paid for somebody to do it.
Yeah,
get them out early.
Doing other jobs.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to pay the premium.
Yeah,
December fee.
True. So, Steve, we actually have two pretty upsetting things here.
Oh, no.
One's email related, one's not. What do you want me to get to first?
I'm going to lighten it up with the bonehead of the week first.
Okay. Let's. All right, bonehead. Okay, what of the week? I think you're gonna like both the upsetting things I have, but let's.
Okay, this is my bonehead move of the week.
Okay.
You suck. It's getting chilly out. It's actually snowing as we're recording this.
Yeah, there's snow on the ground.
Yeah. So it's getting cold. It's been pretty cold, especially at night for 2 weeks. And my building heat wasn't on. Because it's a boiler or whatever.
Oh,
so they turn the boiler on and then it heats shit up.
Yeah.
And that, man, I've been freezing cold. Right. Yes. But I'm like, oh man, I don't want to bother my landlord. I'm like, somebody else will ask him because I'll just tough it out.
Yeah.
And then the past few days, it's just been freaking freezing.
You're like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. So I was about to text him, and then I have this thermostat on the wall, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just turn the thermostat on for the first time in 2 years. And apparently my thermostat actually does something. I turn it on and I just hear crink, 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 and all the water is going to my radiators. Heats it up.
Shocking.
Oh
my God.
You SOB.
So wait, so why didn't you need it the last 2 years?
Because normally it just is so hot in here.
Okay. It's like other people's radiators are going over to your unit or something like that.
I think the downstairs barber shop, which is right below me, they must crank it in the winter, but it's probably in between, so now they don't have it set. They only set it when they come in or something. So I'm just sucking, and now I have a radiator, so under my desk I put my little toes on it. My toes are on it right now, all warm.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. So yeah, I've just been freezing cold for 2 weeks when all I had to do was use my thermostat. So
that you know what, that's a pretty valid bonehead mood. I worked for my old job right when I got out of school was this place that they hadn't renovated the floor we were on yet, so there was literally no heat. Not just we hadn't turned it on, it literally was not an option on the floor because they needed to do work on it. And so what I had is a series of, I always had 2 to 3 space heaters just blowing at my desk constantly. And I was in charge of like a lot of the accounting at the time. So our electric bills in like November through, February were always like insanely high. It was all just because everybody was running 2 to 3 space heaters.
35 space heaters in the building.
35 space heaters, everybody at their desk. It's brutal. And those suck because like, especially when they were tall ceilings like your place. So like you get the heat down low, like it would be like underneath my desk. Yeah. And then you'd like stand up and go somewhere, you'd be freezing.
Yeah, you got to like heat the whole room.
Yes, exactly.
Before it makes any difference.
So, yeah, that was brutal. All right, I'm going to show you the first upsetting thing here, Steve.
Okay.
We're bringing down the mood a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Steve. So,
what do you
Chubstep Amy went to this work event the other day and came home with what I can only be described as like a punishment to our family.
Yeah.
So she was at the thing. They had this. It is a jar of candy corn.
Who the fuck would give that out?
So here's what happened. They said, how many candy corns are in here?
Oh, God. Don't tell me. What's my guess?
What's your guess?
1, 2, 7 times 40, 7, 14, 21, 28, 28 times 28, whatever 28 times 28 is, plus 50. No,
let's do
20,
it.
28 times 28.
Remember, it's circular also.
That's where my number came from.
All right, 28 times 28 plus 50. 834. Yeah. So I also guessed a super high number, Steve. The answer is 338.
What?
So I guessed in like the 1,000 range too.
Whoa.
So Chubstep Amy guessed 335.
Ugh.
And the answer
and that's all they gave her.
And the prize for guessing this was getting these candy corns. So I have about 2 lifetime supplies worth of candy corns here.
At least they give you some of the pumpkins. The candy.
Yeah. Okay. The pumpkins. I mean, they're the same flavor, but yeah, I've got pumpkin ones here, and then I've got the corn, which is the white on the top, orange in the middle, yellow on the bottom, and then I've got I guess it's just the moldy corn. It's like orange on the top and brown on the bottom. I don't know what that one's supposed to be. What is this one? Yeah. And then there's the pumpkins, which again, pumpkins are fun flavor
because corn on its own pretty tasty. Pumpkins on their own, like if you just eat a raw pumpkin, it's disgusting. Even a boiled pumpkin. Nobody's out there doing that. Except like I've seen videos of hippopotamuses. It's pretty cute.
That is funny when they do pumpkins or watermelons.
Yeah, and they throw them and the hippo eats it, and you're like, oh my God. Imagine
I think it just smashed my head. Yeah, I did a child or a head.
Well, that's pretty upsetting that like I don't want to out her company, but that company should do better for their employees. At least give them like a Yeti water bottle or something.
Yeah, it's like this. Like I said, it almost seems more like a punishment than
I wouldn't have even guessed. If I knew that was the prize, I would not have submitted a guess, or I would have been like 25,000.
And you can't really give these away at like trick or treat. Like they'll throw it back at your window or something.
Yeah. Did you have any trick or treaters?
We don't really get them here. I think it's because just like,
because you're in
apartment buildings and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get any.
Yeah. I don't think it works the same, which it's a little bummer for like, I don't know what kids do around that live in the city. I don't know how that works. Like our building doesn't have any kids that live here. So yeah, I don't know. I did see some trick-or-treaters walking outside my window. So I open the thing up and I start throwing them candy. And I go, hey, you want some more? And they're like, yeah. So I go back and I just start pissing out the window. To get off my lawn and don't come back. Man, that'll show them.
Yeah, that got them pretty good.
I'd say so. So anyway, if anybody wants any candy corn, email the show chubstep.podcast@gmail.com.
Probably about 320 left.
Yeah, I will. I'll put it in a little envelope and mail it to you if you send me your address. I'm pretty sure
you're going to get a total of 0 requests.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. If people want it, it's there. The offer's out there. We don't say we don't do anything for the listeners.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
There was golf balls sent a couple of years ago.
That's right. Here's the next upsetting thing here, Steve. It's an email. and you're not gonna like it.
I bet I won't.
It's actually just more of a. You might like it. Here, we'll read it to you. It's
Did we get taken off the top 10 Tanzania podcast list?
No. So they did. They keep following up with me. That company is like, can you do this for us? You do this for us. And I'm like, here's what I want you to do for us. Connect us with another Tanzania podcast, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, we need the
we need the inside source. So anyway, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Here is an email. Steve, this is from Jimmy's mom.
Jimmy's mom again.
Okay. So yeah, so for those that don't remember, Steed and I and my brother were at this. It was like
this is
like an
never
American
gonna
Ninja,
leave.
I know.
I'm never gonna get past
American Ninja Warriors, gym, and it was say gym is used in term loosely. It was basically a kids play place that had a few very difficult American Ninja Warrior.
Well, I don't think that children could actually do any of the things.
We could hardly do it, and there's
we couldn't do it.
There's some things we could do, some things we couldn't do. Zero chance that kids could do any of these things. But then there was just a weird number of kids at this location. It really made no sense because the kids really couldn't do any of the activities there. They were just running around, getting hurt. Exactly. So what happened? Steve was doing like a bouldering thing at one point.
It was rock climbing, not
rock climbing.
Come on.
Well, I mean, yeah,
bouldering is boulders. That wasn't a boulder.
Bouldering
was a rock wall. I was doing the
rock wall, but didn't go up that crazy high. Anyway, it had an airbag at the bottom of it. Steed fell in, and kind of a kid rolled into the same little airbag hole that Steed was in. And that kid's name was Jimmy. And Jimmy's mom has emailed the show a few times with different questions.
Yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad.
All right. It says, Dear Chubstep, this is Cassidy, Jimmy's mom. I'm reaching out to you today a little concerned. Jimmy has not yet returned home from the Church of Four Pillars summer camp.
Okay.
He was so excited for the camp. My last memory of him was watching him jump out of the car when we dropped him off. I can still see him in that cute little I love shrimping t-shirt.
Yeah.
After that,
took that away from him on arrival.
After that, we only received one call from him. He seemed very happy to talk about the new friends he had met in his flat earth class. However, we thought the camp ended 2 weeks ago, but we haven't seen him. Hopefully he's not at the bottom of some foam pit with a diddler looking for an update, Jimmy's mom.
Okay. So first of all, that so everything's recorded at that summer camp.
Okay.
Because we knew it was going to be a problem.
Okay.
So everything is recorded. We got GPS trackers. We put little ankle things like in jail on the kids.
Sure.
To make sure it's safe. And we have ankle monitors on the counselors. So if they're together, the ankle monitors are too close for over a minute.
Yeah.
They get electrocuted, both of them.
Okay. And the kid.
We don't know who's doing what.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's for everyone's safety.
Okay.
Just start getting electrocuted. So it also encourages fitness because you got to keep moving.
Yep.
Got to keep moving.
It was kind of like when the NFL did those COVID tracing bracelets that they did. They did these kind of things where if you were in contact with somebody else that had COVID, then they had to, restrain you and stuff like that, tie you down to a pole somewhere.
At the adult summer camp, we have those for like STDs and stuff.
Okay.
Because that is a big problem.
That's a really good thing to provide for people. People don't, talk about.
I'm surprised it's not more mainstream.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You could just do testing prior, but you don't want to be restrictive to people that.
Yeah, that's lame. Yeah. It's boring. Yeah. You're going to get it anyway. So
you're going to get it. Yeah. So anyway, those are the two things, Steve. I wanted to bring those to your attention.
And back to where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Not our problem, bitch.
Okay.
Shut up, bitch.
So he's gone. You're confirming he's not in the camp.
He's not at the camp. Camp's empty. Check the recordings. Live stream. They're live stream, so people can watch them.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a lake there. I don't care what happens when they leave the camp. Any number of weirdos could grab them. You only pay for Monday through Sunday, and then Sunday comes, I'm off the clock. Everybody's off the clock. Ankle bracelets come off. run free. We just let him out the doors, close the doors behind him. Hopefully the parents are there. So this is on you, Cassidy. You should have been there to pick your kid up.
I would agree. At some point, it's like you're not their parent. Yep. So that's on them.
So I'm off the hook.
Okay, good. Just wanted the churches off the hook, the summer camps off the hook. You can't be sued.
I cannot be sued. Summer camp is on for next year.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. All right. Was there something else you want to get to, Steve?
Yeah, you want to talk some creepy murders for Halloween?
Okay, yes. Yeah. But this is not an official true crime Chubstep episode.
This is not. I was thinking about picking our favorite one out of these and maybe doing a deeper dive. But
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So put your spooky pants on, everybody. Prepare to be creeped. All right. Okay. So the first guy, you ever heard of Dennis Nilsen?
No.
Okay, this is a fun guy. In the 80s, this is a British guy too, so it's even weirder. He's a big shrimper.
Okay. Good.
He murdered 6 people in the 70s and 80s. He'd pick up dudes at some bars, and then he'd strangle them. And you're like, typical man stuff, right?
Yeah.
I do that with my boys every weekend.
That's right. Yeah.
But then he would just put them in the bathtub, clean them up, put some clothes on them.
Okay.
And then he'd bang them for like a month.
Oh,
the dead bodies. Yeah, the dead bodies. And, he'd have like dinners with them and stuff. He'd like change their clothes. And then, I guess they got too stinky at some point, and he'd kind of flush them down the toilet.
I wouldn't fit in a toilet, but I'm a big guy.
Well, I think
I'm assuming you had to cut them up or something. Chop them up.
They'd after like a month, they'd probably be kind of rotted. Oh, yeah. One of these says, even month. Plural.
Oh, month, so could be longer than a month.
Yeah. And he actually got caught because somebody wasn't big enough to go down the drain. And then the drain backed up, and they had to get like a plumber, and he's like, hey, there's a foot in the drain or something.
You've got a foot down here? Oh, yeah.
What is going on?
I knew I shouldn't have eaten that.
I knew I shouldn't have eaten that foot. Okay, the next spooky lady is
that guy's bad. That guy's bad.
That guy's bad. He's bad at doing a lot of stuff. This lady's, I wouldn't say worse. She's not worse. Her name's Catherine Knight. She's from Australia. So this is fun.
All right.
She stabbed her husband to death. And you're thinking, all right, that's not that spooky. Well, then she skinned him.
Okay.
Took his skin off, which I've heard is pretty difficult.
That seems difficult to do.
This is about the thrill of wearing another man's skin, feeling his innermost wants and desires, and being in control of his every single move. That's how you get off. Now, don't you guys want to get off with me?
Yeah, because how do you get, like, under the skin, and, like, you want it to come off clean, because I don't want, like, a ruined skin suit.
No, we'd have to stay together. It had to be
suit.
Yeah, and that seems difficult.
Yeah, so then she cuts his head off, and then cooks a bunch of his body parts.
Okay.
And she was going to feed them to her kids.
Oh, good. Oh, the kids did not know the husband was dead?
It doesn't seem so.
Okay.
And she set the table and had place cards with, like, the kids' names and, like, all the husband meat. And then I guess at some point she got caught. Like, before the kids, maybe when the kids came home, they're like, hey, Ma.
Why is Dad's head in the pot?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
this lady might be worse, dude. I don't know. Because the fact that she was about to feed him to kids, it makes it pretty bad.
That does make it pretty bad. But the other one's got numbers.
He's got numbers, but I would argue
he was banging them.
He's getting pleasure out of it, but he wasn't feeding. Well, I guess she's getting nutrients out of it. Okay.
Yeah, so
it's just toss up.
World hunger and global warming and stuff. Okay, we got another eater guy.
Okay, good.
His name is Issei Sagawa. He's Japanese.
Okay.
And he was in France. So he does what the Romans do. And he kills a woman. And then he eats her.
Okay.
Because he wants to absorb her beauty.
Wow.
Yeah, so
hard to argue with that.
He eats her, and he also bangs the.
Okay, body. Well, yeah, I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah. So then he was trying to take the body and put it in a lake, and they found him. Then he gets declared insane. Here's a twist.
Yeah, that's
gets declared insane. Charges are dropped. Deported to Japan. They can't charge him, and he's free. He's a free man.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. So he's just crazy? He got away with that.
Yeah, well, did they say time.
Maybe that's what he did investigate? Because I'm a little curious how the charges were dropped.
Well, how they were dropped? The insanity.
Oh, because the insanity. But usually insanity means you still have to like meet some requirement.
You got to go to like the mental hospital or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think they deported him, and then like legally, Japan couldn't like detain him
that or something
for like a crime that was technically acquitted or something.
So like they didn't really do the math. Yeah, nobody figured that all out. Yeah, they're just
like, shit, we don't have a law for this one. All right,
let him go. Let him go.
No more.
He won't do that again.
Yeah,
he learned his lesson.
I don't think he did. Well, he was like a mini celebrity in Japan, I guess.
Oh my god, psycho.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more. This guy's fun. His name is Carl Tanzler.
Okay.
And he was a radiology guy in Florida at a hospital. And then he met this girl, Helen Millargo de Hoyos. And she had tuberculosis. And so he was like her doctor.
Yeah.
Then he just becomes obsessed with her. Like big time. Big obsession.
Okay.
So then she dies. This one's got a twist too. He doesn't murder her. She just dies.
He's a bad doctor.
Well, she had TB in 1930, so
yeah.
He was doing. He was probably like an okay doctor.
Yeah.
So then 2 years later.
Oh no.
Tanzler goes to the cemetery. Is like, man, I can't get Helen Millargo de Hoyos out of my head.
Yeah.
Goes to the cemetery, digs up her body.
Oh no.
He attaches her bones together with wire.
Okay.
He puts like wax-soaked cloth over her skin to like make it skin
moist.
Yeah, moist. So he like puts her bones back together.
Yeah.
He's got some rags or something.
Okay.
And then several years later in 1940. So this is 9 years after she died.
Oh God.
Helen's sister hears a rumor that Tanzler's banging the dead body of.
So he has to tell the guys at the bar or something, right?
Yeah. What? Like, who spreads this rumor?
Well, he's probably drinking at the bar. He's like, "Oh man, you guys remember that one girl? Yeah, like me and her still have a thing." And then like the guy goes back home. He tells his wife, like, "Yeah, oh God, did you hear what he said?" And she's like, "She died years ago."
He's like, 9 years
he definitely said he was with her. So then that rumor just gets spread around.
I bet some guys were like ragging him, like, "You no wife still, Tanzler? You're probably still a virgin." And he's like, "I get laid every night." And they're like, "Yeah, well, show us your girlfriend." He's like, well, and then after like weeks and weeks, he's like, "Fine, I'll bring her." And then he like brings the dead body to the bar.
No. Like showed a picture of her. I only have a picture of her, and like she's just like clearly dead.
There actually is a picture, and it's fucking terrifying.
No God. Oh no, I don't like this. Well, first of all, Carl looks like
he looked like the guy doing this.
All right, here we go. So Carl's
the old German-looking guy.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, I would agree. Very, very German-looking. And then here's the before and after of this girl.
Yeah, I mean, I get the before. The after, though, you lost me at some point.
Yeah, well, I think the worst part is the nose. That's the nose.
It's the nose for you. For me, it's like the hair.
It looks like if somebody paper mache'd a body and then drew a face on it.
Pretty
That's what we're looking at for those.
I'm assuming her eyebrows are drawn on and by him.
I'm gonna assume this is all drawn on at some point.
Yeah, because the eyeballs. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna be.
So his sister did. They like went and like checked him out.
Yeah.
And like she confronts him and finds a dead body, and they're like, "What the hell?" So I think he went to jail. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we do some more investigating on this one, Steve, because this is
that one is pretty fun. That one is pretty fun.
All right.
Well, not fun.
No, it's not fun, but it's insane.
Like, I want to know how he got caught, because that is ridiculous. That like a rumor goes around, be like,
yes,
you hear old Carl's banging that dead lady for 9 years. And then why wouldn't that person like call the police?
100%. That's what I'm saying. So we'll to do a little more investigate. I like this one for sure. Good finds, dude. Very good finds. So this past, I did a couple Halloween parties this weekend.
Nice.
Semi party, semi invited to the parties, that sort of thing. But I showed up anyway. I decided to go as American hero. Joey Chestnut, even though I kept my beard. Yeah. Joey Chestnut doesn't have a beard.
Nobody knows.
Did
he black out a tooth? Because I think he's like got fucked up teeth.
His teeth, I was not able. I don't know. I can't remember what his teeth look like, but his I don't have his like cheek structure, because like he just he's got the muscles to like.
Oh yeah.
He like does a little ball thing, and he like a bouncy ball. It squeezes on it.
That's where the money's made.
I know. So I don't have like his facial structure by any means, but I had the Nathan's hot dog shirt. I had a made the mustard belt, which apparently the first one was, if you watch the documentary on Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut, the 30 for 30, they talk about the original one. I think just was a wrestling belt that they like spray painted yellow. So I did that. and then Chubstep Amy was a hot dog. And then we brought,
I was going to say, tell me you brought like 100 hot dogs.
We didn't bring 100. I don't, we brought like a pack. Went to the store, found Nathan's hot dogs, cooked them up, wrapped them in aluminum foil, then put them in like an insulated bag and brought them to the bar, and had people compete who could finish the hot dog the fastest.
Oh, nice.
And it was good. I will say the Nathan's hot dogs are very good. I actually want to do now. The next thing I want to do is do a taste test of just like the dog cooked the same.
Well, we talked to Flubbalub Chub.
Flubbalub Chub.
He said the one thing: quality is everything.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like the Vienna beef dog versus the Nathan's dog. I'd be curious about that.
Boar's head dog.
Yeah, something like that. Like premium one versus just like your Oscar Mayer or generic. If
you're trying to impress at the company cookout,
that's what I'm saying.
What do you go with?
Exactly.
I'd totally be down for that.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have to do that. We've done it with the pizzas before. I feel like this is going to be a little bit. Nobody's going to know by looking at the hot dog which one it is. Like people were a little biased when they came to the chicken sandwiches or the pizzas that we've done in the past.
Yeah. Well, the pizza bias like screwed everybody up.
I know.
People thought that these pizzas were different pizzas.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be able to tell like a ballpark from like a nicer one.
Yeah.
But not like between nice ones.
I agree. I think it would be tough. So I think it'd be nice, kind of unbiased.
I love hot dogs too. I gotta eat some more hot dogs.
Yeah, agreed. So while we were at the party on Friday, so Chubstep Randy Hamboy, who's been on the show before, he was wearing a taco outfit, like a ground beef taco outfit.
Yeah,
and he had his girlfriend there who was wearing kind of a yellow dress. And she was wearing kind of a coat, so it threw me off a little bit. But she came up to me and she said, what do we, do you know what we're dressed as?
The taco.
And I, what's that?
They're the taco in the shell.
No, she wasn't a shell. He was the full taco.
Oh,
he was the shell with the beef and that kind of thing. She was wearing kind of a yellow dress. And so I gave an answer. But before that, he went up to Chubstep Amy and asked the same thing, and Amy saw the two things, and she said, "Oh, Beauty and the Beef."
Oh.
And he said, no, it's actually Taco Bell, but I like your answer better.
Oh, same idea though.
Yeah, same kind of concept. Beauty of the
Same
Beast.
exact. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yes.
I like the pun costumes.
It is a good,
It's
yeah,
fun.
where you have to put it together. I do like that as well. So anyway, Beauty and the Beef was Chubstep, was not Chubb's Randy, but I think he might have gone with that going forward.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Exactly. Maybe
She'll
next year.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, Steed, as we're on Halloween here, have you had a favorite costume that you've ever done?
Yeah, 9 Abraham Lincolns.
Just being Abraham Lincoln 9 times.
What?
Just being that a bunch of times.
No, when me and you and
all
the boys all
Lincoln.
dressed up as Abraham Lincoln.
That was ridiculous. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we found another Lincoln at a bar, and we just surrounded him.
Yes.
He just looks up, and everybody's Lincoln.
A good full group costume is always. It's good. It's always good when you just have a whole group of people doing the same thing.
I just love the absurdity of that one.
Yes.
Just like the Lincoln, and then you just multiply him.
Yeah.
And that was fun because everybody loves Lincoln. You can't hate him.
That's true. You've got, I would say, Republicans like him because he was a Republican. And then you've got people on basically every side of the aisle has some sort of issue that he helped with. He's pretty universally liked.
And if you say you don't like him, you're outed as a racist.
That's true.
And the funny part.
Yep. Yeah.
So on that Halloween, I was with some girls at the end of the night, and they got in a shouting match with a black gentleman.
Yes.
And so I was, keeping the legacy of Lincoln, and I was stepping in and causing the peace.
That seemed to work?
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out. Nobody got beat up. I mean, I would have been the one getting beat up. So.
Yeah, that's true. You would have been the one getting beat up for stepping in. But I like you trying to take the historical accuracy of trying to do something good for everybody, guys, and bringing everybody together.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done this. Lincoln wouldn't want this right now.
That's right. That's very big of you, Steve.
Yeah.
I watched a haunted house documentary. Now that we're on, I think it was called Monsters Inside, America's most extreme haunted house. So I think I had heard about this haunted house growing up, some rumors and stuff of this, but it's the one that pays you.
If you can complete it.
Yes. Okay, so you've heard about this too, right?
I remember it.
I don't know what it is.
$20,000. I'm too spooked. I'm not the guy to go in one of those, so I didn't pay too much attention.
Yeah, so it was $20,000 or $5,000. It was a ridiculous amount of money. Maybe it was $5,000, whatever it was. It paid you to finish it, right?
Yeah, but I assume it's a maze or something.
So here's the deal. So actually, they made this whole documentary. This one on the one I just mentioned, Monsters Inside America's Most Extreme Haunted House. They made a documentary on this, and the thing was called McCamey Manor. That was called the name of the haunted house. So haunted houses for me, I never minded going to them. I could find them enjoyable from time to time if they were kind of well done. The problem is a lot of times they're really cheesy.
Yeah.
But there's times where I think I haven't been to one in a long time, but I used to enjoy them for sure. But depending on what they were, if they're in a cool spot, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So this guy was basically just so into the haunted house scene that he clearly was not doing this for money. He basically lived in a trailer and then put all of his money into making this haunted house. And the whole concept, you would have to complete this. He's supposed to pay you a bunch of money. But as you watch this documentary, you kind of see there's actually no way to complete this. It doesn't end. So multiple people had kind of finished it to the point where the guy kind of stopped and they're like, where's my money? This guy doesn't have the money to pay anybody.
No.
He doesn't have the cash, the walking around money to pay the wham, to pay these people. So basically what it does is he does interviews with you ahead of time, figures out what you're most scared of. And then it's just at first it was him and a few people would basically just torture you. It was literally basically just torture. So they had the right to, I don't know if you remember, they could like beat you up and stuff like that. But
really?
like literally
they just beat the shit out of you?
They would sometimes just beat the shit out of you. They would like cut your hair.
Oh my God.
They would, oh yeah, like they showed this one guy and he's like buried alive and they're just pouring like mud kind of on top of his face with just enough where he can kind of barely breathe. Basically waterboarding.
I would have went with waterboarding if I was every single time somebody's like, all right, I won. They're like, one more thing.
Yeah, that's
down.
No, because it's what it wouldn't end. He would like sleep deprive people and he would film it all and put it up on YouTube. And then that would be like people would see it and be like, oh, I can do that. I could get past that.
Oh my God.
So then, but like I said, like there was a guy that was on there that was like, I did I kind of just gave him shit the whole time. Like I didn't like pretend like I was scared and all this kind of stuff. And eventually he just stopped. And I was like, all right, don't I get my money? He's like, no, you got kicked out because you're not listening and that kind of stuff. He always just had some excuse. But it wasn't like an actual haunted house where you like walk through this and walk through this. It's basically just like
spook you.
I'm gonna tie you up and then like just throw spiders at your face or like whatever it is.
Oh no.
Like cover you. It's like Fear Factor. It's more like Fear Factor. But it basically doesn't end until you basically say I'm out. And there would be sometimes people would say like I'm done. And he just wouldn't listen. Like they were basically saying it's shocking that nobody's died yet. But somebody did end up in the hospital. Like a super beat up face, like didn't have their eyebrows and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the most extreme version of a haunted house. I do remember that growing up, hearing those things because it did at one point he was in Illinois where this was, and I think I
kind of remember.
Yes, hearing things, but he got kicked out a few different times from different states. So I think now he's in like Texas or Arkansas or something.
Jeez, I figured it was just like some maze or something.
That's what
like a secret trap door, and you got to like find the secret trap door. But there's a spooky guy there. Can't get past him. Not
at all what it was. It's literally some creepy, weird guy. And first of all, he'd always find most of the people he did. So actually, you would have been a perfect candidate for this. It was always like attractive girls or former military. Those are basically the only two people he accepted into the thing because he wanted to make the former military guys like for some reason like re-traumatize them or make them exactly that, or he just like to see these attractive girls like just get tortured.
Yeah, this guy's a weirdo. Certified.
If you watch this thing, it's basically just talking about how weird this guy is.
I'd rather watch the shrimping documentary.
Yeah. Which is sucking on toes for those that don't remember, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Your toes are the shrimp.
Your toes are the shrimp. That's right.
And your spit is the cocktail sauce, the marinara.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yes. Good point. I was going to say my favorite Halloween costume ever. For some reason, my family always did these Halloween costumes, and we did all Santas one year.
Oh,
so even though it was Halloween, we're all different versions of Santas. So I was like hip hop Santa. So I had like a cut off velvet, like a
like
crushed velvet type of thing with the do-rag, a Santa do-rag.
I can see that Santa coming down my chimney.
Yes, that's true. Why does Santa? Yeah, Santas can update with the times.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's like how God always speaks to people in like old timey English
and with a big like, booming voice.
Ye ought to be on the morrow's day, and you're like, what?
Yes. Was there anything else you want to get
to? Just real quick, I finished watching Game of Thrones.
Okay,
the new Game of Thrones. Because that was the first bonehead of the week where I watched the last episode. So I watched episodes 1 through 9.
Okay. Did you rewatch 10 after you?
I didn't know. No, I knew it happened.
Okay.
So I did learn a lot. A couple things with that show kind of shocked me.
Okay.
A lot of incest.
I mean, that's Game of Thrones for you.
There was a lot more. No, in Game of Thrones, it was just two people.
Okay.
And in this one, they're like, what if we take this 14-year-old girl?
Yeah.
And we have her see her uncle like 3 times her whole life. Yeah. And then on the 4th time, they just bang. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But first, this is also, all right, so that, I'm not really a problem with the show. Just wanted to bring it up.
Well, on that though, Steve, more talking about that was fairly common in kind of medieval times, like through ancient history.
Yeah,
there'd be some guy that was married off to a cousin or something like that at the age of 8.
All I'm saying is the show could have made it like her uncle's buddy.
Step uncle.
Yeah, step uncle. I don't know.
No, I agree. They didn't have to do that, but it, that did happen.
Yeah, but it happened, and it happened. The next thing I had a problem with is the princess is like 14 or 15. I can't remember. She's underage in this show.
Yeah.
And then she decides she's going to bang one of her guards.
Yes.
A grown man.
Yep, I remember this. Yep.
And she's just like, let's bang. And he's like, no, we shouldn't. But then he totally bangs her.
Yeah.
Like immediately with very little coaxing.
Yeah.
He just like bangs her. And then like gets super pissed about it the next day and decides like he's going to try and ruin her and like support this other prince.
Yeah.
What was that about? That's not how people act.
Yeah, he felt taken advantage of, right?
No, you took advantage of me, you 14-year-old girl.
Power dynamics.
He was wearing a full suit of armor
with a sword.
With a sword, he could have, he could have just walked out of that room.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I mean, I'm not going to try to explain this guy's thoughts.
And then he's just like, "Oh well, fuck this girl. Screw her. You know what, guys? I'm done with this bitch. She's not my queen anymore." And every time I see him, I'm like, "What is this guy's problem?"
Yeah,
he was about to kill himself at one point in the show, and I was like, "Do it! You're fucking. This guy's pissing me off. He's a crybaby."
Yeah. That's I. At the time I hadn't really thought about that, but in hindsight, I do agree with you.
Yeah, pretty good show though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
The new season came out, but it's not on my website that I use.
The new season did come out?
I think. I don't know.
I don't think it did. I would have.
I've been hearing rumblings.
I think just rumblings.
What's it called?
I think just rumblings. But anyway, thank you for the update, Steve, on the show that came out.
I had to talk about it, even though it's
not
been out for so long.
Yeah,
I was like shocked when the uncle just starts banging her. And
there is a weird amount of stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, we are going to wrap up the show there. Email the show chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube, Chubstep Podcast, Instagram, Chubstep Podcast, all the good stuff. And number 3, Tanzania Podcast out there. That's us.
Big time.
Rate the show on Spotify. If you listen to it on Spotify, even if you don't listen to an episode, then rate the show. Rate it wherever you go. 5 stars, ideally.
And leave a little comment. We read them on the show.
Oh, yeah. We like little comments. I don't know if Spotify allows the comments, but if you do it on the Apple Podcast app, we'll read it up.
Yeah, Apple Podcast does. Our comments they're some pretty funny ones.
Yeah, we do like it.
Reviews, yeah.
The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.